Hey, what is going on, guys? This video today is going to be a short one discussing what exactly is going on with sensitivity on console Fortnite right now. This all started about 3 days ago when patch 5.3 was added into Fortnite. The update really didn't add a ton of important stuff, but it did introduce two major changes to sensitivity. In the patch notes, Epic said they quote-unquote lowered the dead zone used for aiming on Xbox One controllers and quote-unquote tuned controller input and accelerations to allow for more fine-tuning when aiming. We'll get into exactly what that means and the impact it has on sensitivity in general in a second, but just know that some of these changes were such a disaster when they were initially released that another update had to be added about 24 hours later to readjust or even just straight up remove some of those changes. So let's get right into all of this. After all the madness I just discussed, here we are after all the updates, patches, and hotfixes, and to a ton of people, sensitivity still feels dramatically different than it did before patch 5.3. Don't believe me? Well, I'll throw on the screen right now just a few of the hundreds of online threads and comments of people still having sensitivity issues today on the day I'm making this video. So the first explanation as to why your sensitivity probably feels at least a little different now than it did 3 days ago, if you're on Xbox at least, and don't worry PS4 guys, we'll get to you in a little, is because of the reduction of the dead zone for Xbox Fortnite. And I know that may sound like something out of like a horror movie, and a lot of you guys don't know the difference between a small and large dead zone, or even what a dead zone is, period, so let me try to explain it in the simplest way possible. The dead zone on a controller basically determines how much you need to move your right analog stick to actually move your in-game aim. A large dead zone means that you can fidget your analog stick a bit in any direction, you know, up, down, left, right, without it actually moving your in-game crosshairs. And this is how Fortnite was before patch 5.3. But now they've moved to a very small dead zone, which means that even the slightest movement of your right analog stick will also move your crosshairs. On Xbox at least, this change to a lower dead zone means an increased sensitivity to your right analog stick, and it's probably the biggest reason why your Fortnite sensitivity feels different and most likely a little bit faster now. But PS4, to my knowledge, already had a really low dead zone, and that is why only Xbox is mentioned in the patch notes. So if lowering the dead zone was only done on Xbox, how come a lot of PS4 players are also reporting issues with their sensitivity? Based on what I'm seeing a lot of people saying, there are two main theories that could potentially explain this. First off, the most common theory being spread around at the moment is that Epic made a change to the amount of aim assist you get when you aim down sights. That would make a lot of sense for two reasons. First off, recently a lot of people have been complaining that aim assist on console is overpowered, and to some extent there actually is a little bit of truth to that. So it makes sense that in theory Epic would implement a minor change for console to make aim down sights aim assist a little bit weaker. Also, this would make sense because a lot of people are reporting that their non-ADS sensitivity feels the same as it was pre-patch, but their aim down sight sensitivity specifically feels either faster or just not as effective as it was pre-patch 5.3. The second theory being floated around that could explain why both PS4 and Xbox sensitivity feels different revolves around the other patch note that discussed sensitivity in patch 5.3. I'll read it again in case you forgot it. It says that they tuned controller input and accelerations to allow for more fine-tuning when aiming. Now, this patch note is mainly referring to aim acceleration, which was added to the game in 5.3. Aim acceleration is plain and simple an awful feature that adds even more randomness to gunfights. In simple terms, it basically causes your crosshair to accelerate the longer you hold your analog stick in a given direction. It makes it even harder to build muscle memory associated with aiming, and it's the main reason why another update was added to the game the very next day. So many people complained that Epic was basically forced to readjust it, and even though they said that they reverted aim acceleration back to how it was pre-patch 5.3, some people just straight up don't believe it. They think that the reason sensitivity feels so different now is because even though they definitely did greatly reduce the amount of aim acceleration, it could still be in the game to some extent. Do I believe that? Probably not. I would say that in my experience and based on some testing, the theory about aim assist is much more likely to be true, but there's no way we could be 100% sure without Epic clarifying exactly what they did. So yeah, that is a pretty concise summary of the most likely explanations as to why so many people feel that their sensitivity is different now. I know some people are going to ask about my sensitivity, so I'll answer that now real quick. I debated for a bit whether I wanted to change my sensitivity, but I ultimately decided to keep everything the same. But just because I'm deciding to keep everything the same doesn't necessarily mean you should too. I saw a lot of people saying that bumping their ADS sensitivity and even their non-ADS sensitivity down a bit really helped them feel a lot more comfortable with these mystery sensitivity changes. So definitely play around with that if you feel like you're no longer comfortable with your sensitivities after the patch. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment down in the comment section below just because I'm trying to get a general consensus here. Do you feel like now your sensitivity feels different than it did 3 days, 5 days, a week ago before patch 5.3? Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.